Hey,
Good.
welcome back to Matter of Fact. Today we got Like Love Lock for y'all, the late lines, our favorite three picks for this wild card weekend. Lions, Chiefs with the bye, but we got a nice slate here along with college football yesterday. Shout out to Notre Dame, Drew Aller, good choice going back to school and whatnot. We got Texas, Ohio State in about an hour and a half. But man, how you feeling about these matchups this weekend, man?
Uh, hey, I'm just feeling grateful. You know what I mean? I appreciate the new college football platform that they got going on. And then yeah, we got football all day tomorrow, and then we got three solid games Sunday, and we top it off with one on Monday. So just a nice little 5 days of football here.
Right, right. Yeah, man, I can't wait till tomorrow. Unfortunately, me and your team not in, but mock draft season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back to mock draft. See, I know you're not used to that going 12-5 3 years in a row.
Well, no, I actually the way I learned how to do all of this was due through the NFL draft. That's how I learned all the players and prospects, understood the game more. 2012, Maurice Claiborne is he was that was the year he was coming out, and the Dallas Cowboys needed some cornerbacks. So that was like when I was studying cornerbacks, understanding the draft, this, that, and the other thing, watching film on college players. All of that came from mock draft season.
I feel that. I feel that. Well, I could kick this off with my favorite. Well, I'll start with my like. So once again, if you guys are new here, like um, least favorite pick, but we love these picks, but we're ranking them. So like, love, lock. It's what it sounds like. So my like, what I like here. Oh my God, it moved. Okay, so the money's starting to. Well, I like the Texans with the points. Now, me personally, I'm probably going to buy a point here, but I feel like the public and everyone I've been watching, the discourse I've been seeing, it's like the Texans don't have a chance. They're kind of putting them almost in the realm of the Steelers and the
Wait, so
Broncos.
you do so that means that you're good right here at the +3 because that +3 is not at
Oh,
plus
an
two and a half.
open consensus. Yeah, +3. But
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna. I want the hook. I know it's gonna mess up the odds, but for the purpose of the show and what I'm locked into, I'm taking it at +3 personally. I'm gonna just buy the half point because I think this comes down to the wire. Along with that, and I honestly probably like this pick better. I really love the under here. I think these are two great defensive minds, well coached defensive teams, and yeah, I just don't think it's going to these offenses. Well, for the Texans, they've been struggling all year, sophomore slump for CJ. With the Chargers, love Justin Herbert, love what they're doing over there, but we know what Harbaugh wants to do. He wants to run the ball, not a bunch of weapons here. They opted for Joe Alt, and honestly, it's looking like great value. You get the best, arguably the best tackle in the draft. He's definitely been playing up to that draft selection, and then you get Lad McConkey in the second, 1,000-yard season as a rookie. But yeah, I really like what they're doing on defense. In terms of Houston, they have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Then you have Derek Stingley, Petrie. You have a lot of dogs on that defense. And then the Chargers been getting coached up well with Derwin James. Joey Bosa missed a huge chunk of time this year. But I think I'd say this goes to, I could see this being like a 2017 or a weird 1917. Somebody misses an extra point. And then, this is just me being hopeful because I like the +3. So if they happen to lose, they only lose by 2 on money. But I can see the Texans winning this one. I mean, they just won a playoff game last year. I remember last year, everybody was in on the Browns. I remember telling people, look, man, I like the Texans here. I smashed the Texans last year at this spot, and I'm going to take the Texans here. But I feel way more comfortable with the under, not going to lie. So I'll probably be parlaying these two. And I might just straight up do Texans. I might do a dog parlay that includes the Texans and the under. So that's my like for that. My love. give me the Ravens -9.5 at home. The fundamentals tell you, a Steelers give Lamar problems. It's a division matchup. They split during the season, but I mean, this just feels like a Steelers team that's getting ready to implode, and I think this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think that the league's kind of figured out Russell Wilson. The past couple weeks with the Russell Wilson, I think me and Austin kind of were predicting. It just took a little bit. And honestly, I'd probably fade this pick if they're like, look, we're going to push out Justin Fields. We're just going to push it out. We need an extra dynamic piece to this offense. Very predictable. And, you know, it just seems like if you could stop the deep ball with George Pickens and you could, you know, hold down Najee, you know, you're golden. I think that Baltimore has like a statement win here, win by 2 touchdowns. And I think it's just going to be a weak game from Russell Wilson. Yeah, like I don't know. This is what we've seen from the Steelers all year. I mean, I talked about this a couple weeks ago that I could see the Steelers like losing the last couple games, and even though they were at 10-2 at one point, we look back and it's like, oh, they're 11-5 or whatever they are now. I felt like it was super predictable. They kind of do this every year, and yeah, give me the Ravens -9.5. I don't want to overthink it with the division aspect, the fact that the Steelers typically have the Ravens number. I see a statement win for Baltimore -9.5. And then my lock of the week, stamp this. And I'm probably going to tease this, like reverse tease this the other way for extra value. Give me the Bucks -3 at home against the Commanders. I think the Commanders match up terribly against the Bucks. The Bucks defense is weak, but what they're good at least when Vita Vea is out there playing, is stopping the run. I think this is a weak game for Brian Robinson. I think they stopped the run. Washington, they're ahead of schedule, so they're kind of playing with house money, going 12-5. But if you look at their past couple weeks, Saints barely beat them. Could have easily lost to the Saints with was it Spencer Rattler that game? Was that the game where it was Jay Kaner at first, and then they switched them out for Spencer Rattler?
Nah, he started that. I think Spencer's. Well, actually, no, that was the. Yeah, you're right. That was the one where Spencer,
that was the one?
Jay Kaner. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, so you barely beat the Saints. They could have easily won that game. A beat up Saints team. You went into overtime with the Falcons on Michael Penix's debut. You beat the Eagles, but that was looking like it could have been a blowout if Jalen Hurts didn't get concussed and they threw out Kenny Pickett. Barely won that. And I just think this team's a little bit overrated, but I'm taking that out of it. I'm really looking at the matchup, and I think this could really get ugly. I mean, I just think I could see this being. I'm probably going to tease this up and do Bucks -9. I think they win comfortably by at least 10 points. Give me Baker, and I like looking ahead, and me looking ahead, I see the Eagles beating the Packers, and then the Eagles get their chance at revenge in the division round. Bucks, Eagles, and that's going to be an interesting game, and we'll see what Baker's really made of, if he could really push this team forward. But for this, I think Commanders are a couple pieces offensively in terms of their weapons away, and just, you know, as a team, once again, they're ahead of schedule, so shout out to them. Great year for the Commanders, but just a bad luck of the draw. Give me the Bucks -3.
All right. Bucks -3. So give them right now. Just give them straight up your 3 that you like the most, like you like to love a lot.
Oh, so yeah. To sum that up, I took the Texans +3. So Texans +3. My love, Ravens -9.5, and my lock, Bucks -3 at home.
Bucks -3 at home. All right.
Yeah.
Some good picks, some solid picks that I do agree with. You know, especially when it comes to this, it's not one of my loves or locks, but 100% when it comes to this Texans game. I mean, I got my prediction is literally Texans 20, Chargers 17. Also, I think that it's just something fishy. Something's fishy about the fact that every single 85% of the money is going on the away team at -3. So I just think that this is just one of those situations where all the angles that I look at the most are telling me to pick Houston. You know what I mean? But then my mind and the eye test or whatever you want to call it, that's telling me Los Angeles -3. So that was a toss up for me. If I had to pick one for that, I'd probably pick the under with the points. But as for me,
team total?
Yeah. No. Under with both of them. The total altogether, 42 and a half.
Okay.
That's what it's at. Yeah, that's what I would pick. But the team, what I like a lot right now is I like Pittsburgh getting a number plus 9.5. It's not to say that Baltimore isn't going to win the game. It's not to say that they won't even be dominating the entire time. It's just a situation where Baltimore already got their blowout win, their get back smashing out Pittsburgh the last time they played back in December. I think this one, just due to the fact that it's a playoff atmosphere, just kind of wanting to chew clock, get out of there with a win. I think Baltimore is, in control the majority of the game. However, Pittsburgh is playing them tough because that's just what they kind of do. They end up getting some type of fluky turnover that keeps the game close. And because their kicker's so good, they end up, not necessarily ever winning the game or even are in hopes of winning the game, but they're always in striking distance. And due to the fact that the way that they play and how Baltimore doesn't mind playing with run heavy schemes, I think, and the fact that Zay Flowers is also out, one of his better pass catchers on the team for Lamar, I think that they go a running heavy approach and, just focus on playing some tough, hard-nosed defense and winning the game. Derrick Henry probably gets a touchdown or two. Lamar probably goes over 50 yards rushing. But, yeah, so that's what I like there. I got Pittsburgh playing them tough, Baltimore to win, obviously. And then the next game that I kind of like a lot is the where we at? It's Denver. It's this Denver Buffalo game. I think that Denver is going to want to play Buffalo tough, but again, kind of similar to what you were saying in regards to Washington. Sean Payton and Bo Nix, for that matter, they got Denver in a good place right now as an organization, and they're just I don't want to say they're just happy to be here. Obviously, they're going to try to win, but for Buffalo, I think this is one of those games where it's all right, we're not going to play with our food today. Josh Allen, you're not going to be on no nut shit today. Okay, it's one thing if you do it against the Ravens or the Chiefs. Well, I'm just saying. It's one thing for you to do it against the Ravens or the Chiefs or whatever, but first round of the playoffs against a young team like Denver, look, let's go smash them out. Let's go get control of this football game, and you know what I mean. Let's just create an insurmountable lead to the point where we know they can't run the ball anymore and make them one-dimensional. And I think that's what they're going to do here. And with that, I love them to cover that -8.5. Also, well, we're not talking about that yet, so we'll get on that. And then again, my love of the week, similar to you, same situation.
Your lock or your love?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, so this is one I love. This is my love. This is my lock right here.
Yeah.
Okay. My lock of the week, same situation. Tampa Bay -3. Again, it's just one of those situations where I think the public for sure.
That's a double lock. That's a bucket.
Yeah, the public for sure is going to come in on Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's played amazing all year. And this is one of those spots where you know, you could see him shining. But if we even break down all the games that they've won, you know what I mean? Like going back, there's like 6 games that they could have potentially lost that they ended up winning. That Saints game that you talked about earlier, the Chicago Bears game. I mean, shoot, even
Hail
against
Mary.
you know what I mean? Like even against Washington, Dallas last week, they did not look good with Jaden Daniels was in the game and they were trying to win. They were trying to win the game. It wasn't like this was a situation where it's like, all right, let's see what's going on. And we're going to smash him out. They're going to take Jaden Daniels out. No, they were going to play him the entire game. But Micah was on his ass so crazy that they were like, all right, you know what? Like, we're done. Like, we got to sit him for the second half and we got to go ahead. And I guess they had a few offensive linemen out, but still, nonetheless, like, Micah was running that joint like Debo. He needed 1 sack or whatever to have some record, some sack record for like the most sacks in 3-year span or whatever. First 3 years in the league, and he got him in the first play of the game. But even outside of that, you know, it just looks like Washington has regressed a lot. And, you know, one thing that I've learned about Dan Quinn, him being this is what happened to him last year. He same as that thing. He had a 12-5 team, solid defense, better than the one he has this year, and he just got out schemed. Like it was almost like he didn't realize, like, oh, this is a playoff game, and the team that I'm going against, my opponent, is going to, you know what I mean, could possibly out scheme what we're doing on defense, or see the holes that we have in our defense and exploit those. And he literally was not prepared. Like he was so unprepared. And you know, I think that him being the head coach and then it also being the Cliff Kingsbury offense, I could see Washington just coming out just less prepared than Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? Not even talking about it from
you don't think he learned from his mistakes, or you just think, you know, old habits die.
I mean, I think that he wants to learn. I think we all, you know, want to learn from our mistakes, but I think when this is going to be a tight atmosphere, yo. This is going to be tighter than this game is going to be tighter than anything that, you know, that organization has dealt with probably since the last time they played Tampa Bay for a playoff game. And this one's going to be the last game on Sunday night. Last game Sunday night. Everybody watching this,
Lights,
you know,
right?
And I could see Lovey. It's Lovey. Is it Lovey Smith? Is that what I'm thinking of? Who's the head coach for Todd Bowles? I could see Todd Bowles in the lab right now, figuring out, okay, what is Jaden Daniels struggling with still, and what is, you know what I mean? What are they doing well? Where are their flaws on offense? How can I exploit this? And I can see him cooking up something special just for this football game. Whereas I don't know if Washington is going to cook up something special just to exploit and to beat Tampa Bay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so this Commanders team kind of reminds me, it's not the same, and I think this team is better, and they have a better quarterback and a better future. But that Giants team that made the playoffs back in 2022, where it was a lot of close games that they won to make them be able to make the playoffs. And, you know, unlike this situation, at least from what we're predicting, we won that first game. But, I mean, they just haven't looked great these past couple weeks. Like you said, the Cowboys game, the Saints game, the Falcons game, and earlier in the season, the Hail Mary to beat the Bears. Even against the Giants that first game, if we had our kicker, they probably lose that one. So
I'm pretty sure that's 6 games. I'm pretty sure
6 games, and we're probably missing some without looking at it directly. And we have to give credit to this Bucs team going back all the way Tom Brady winning that Super Bowl. They have a lot of their core pieces still there between Tristan Wirfs, Mike Evans, Levante David, you know, Antoine Winfield. Like they've been here before, and they beat the Eagles in the first round last year. And like I said, man, they've just been here before. They have that playoff cachet. And like I said, I think they match up terribly. So this is both of our locks.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there is some safeties though.
Take out a loan.
There are some safeties for Tampa that you got to keep an eye on. I think
Winfield playing because I did.
I think Winfield should be suiting up. but I know Whitehead is still out. But you know what I mean. But as
Jordan
long as they
Whitehead.
can as long as they can get Winfield back, I think that could be
3
a
hours
different
ago,
in a few
Jamel
points.
Dean and Winfield are playing. So
okay. So yeah, and again, this is not to say don't take Jaden Daniels for none of the props that you might like for him, or Terry McLaurin for a touchdown. This is just kind of more so like, I think the way this is going to go is Tampa Bay is going to find a way to just kind of beat this team and always have an answer. Whereas Washington, right now, they just been struggling. I mean, I don't want to say they've been struggling, because I guess you can call it a good win. The Falcons win. I mean, if I win that game, I'm taking it. So overtime or whatever. But that was still kind of Raheem Morris's blunders. A few
and
mistakes
that
by
was
the coach.
Penix's debut, full start debut. So
Yeah. So, and one thing to keep an eye out for, though, for Tampa Bay is that it will be a Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans night.
forget. Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah,
It will be.
Look out for
a
that.
Marshawn.
That should be interesting. Now, he's been injured for most of his tenure here in Washington, but hey, man, the NFL script writers, they got a banger with that little plot thing that they're going to forget the word, but we got a nice matchup there, so that should be dope. I wanted to rattle off my favorite props of the week too. I have written down here. I'm on the iPad right now. My setup, I can't wait to go back to Texas and get my setup right. My laptop, I want to crack my screen if I was back home. But here's some of my favorite picks. I like Jaden Daniels, his rushing yards. I feel like a team. I like rushing quarterbacks in must-win games where they got to play superhero. So I think he goes over to around 50. It's in the 50s.
Right.
Give me that over on that. I don't think Brian Robinson gets it going. So give me the under on his rushing. On the flip side, give me the over on Bucky Irvin. I think he goes crazy. I think it's a big Bucky game, and that helps them, formulate that play action, and they get busy that way. Give me Lad McConkey's receiving. I mean, kid's a beast, and he's the main weapon. They always find a way to get him open. I also like Justin Herbert's rushing yards, just because I think this is a tight game, and I think some of those got to have a third downs. He just takes the ball and gets it himself. I like star receivers coming off a weak game, and it wasn't really Jetta's fault. Sam Darnold missed them a bunch of times, but a lot of that, I think a lot of their red zone struggles had to do with Kevin O'Connell's play calling a little bit. Can't put it all on Sam
the guys
Darnold.
Were open.
I mean, yeah, but still, some of those decisions, I wasn't really a fan.
He had to play. I mean, you got to make that throw a few times.
But that being said, give me Justin Jefferson's over on his yards, and that's what I like there. Hold on. Yeah, another play I like too. We're going to need to see more than just Nico Collins. I'm going for the value. Give me John Mechie over on his yards. I think it's about at 18 and a half. Last time I checked it, could get that in one play. So, I'm looking for the value here in terms of, because with Bucky Irvin, his yards is at 80, 90, which I'm not.
It's basically a 90 now.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of that. So I want something where I'm not sweating it out until the end of the third and whatnot. I think Mechie could get this in the first half. So yeah.
I mean,
on your picks, you might remind me of something else I liked, but those are the
I got a few that I'm gonna give out, but it does seem like between Deontay Johnson or John Mechie, if Texans are going to end up pulling this thing out.
He on that team now?
They claimed him. Yeah, swear. Let me see.
Look out for Robert Woods too.
Robert Woods, again, one of those players. Usually has fairly small props that he doesn't. It's not too hard for him to cover. Let's just go to that game real quick. First game on the slate. Let's go. Let's go to wide receivers real fast. Um, by the way, Vlad McConkey's, I'm pretty sure his receptions have moved up to like 79 and a half on most books. Uh, but yeah, let me see. Deontay Johnson right here. I mean, they're going to need an unsung hero in order for them to pull this one off. I'm not saying that like, you know, Deontay Johnson's about to go crazy, but he is a wide receiver that can get open in the NFL. And they're down Tank Dell. They need somebody else to help them
And
on this
after
offense.
his stint with the Ravens, man, I get the logic. I just can't, bro. I just can't.
Yeah, no. Well, again, totally understandable. I'm just saying he's a player. He can beat that prop with one play. So again, if you want someone that's a little bit more reliable, you can go ahead and you can do a Robert Woods prop right here. Looks like he's been getting solid reps here, covering this small little line of 11. Again, same as with Deontay Johnson. All he needs is 2 receptions, and we should be good there. So that's just something to consider if you want to have fun and pick some of the other guys. For me in this game, the only thing I'm really taking is Joe Mixon's under. I think this is going to be one of those CJ Stroud games. It's kind of funny. Someone made a joke that CJ Stroud is the big game merchant. Like the reason that people really, the reason everyone fucks with CJ Stroud is because every time there's a big game, whether he was even in college, he came to play. And that's another aspect that, we give a lot of respect to John Harbaugh, but, this is also still the Chargers franchise that kind of fail in these kind of spots right here. So it's just something to look out for. Another play that I really like on this slate, when we're talking about the other guys, not necessarily the stars, is Jalen McMillan. I think that in this game, because due to the fact that Mike Evans is going to be guarded by Marshawn Lattimore, I think this could be a situation where Jalen McMillan goes over his receptions pop and also probably gets a touchdown. Like I think he could go triple, like a whole 3. Like he can go to triple threat here, just off the base of the fact that he's going to be the other guy, and him and Baker seem to have a little bit more chemistry than they did at the beginning when he was inserted in for Chris Godwin. So this is just a guy I would look to, especially because he's going to have the second best cornerback on the Commanders guarding him, who either is a rookie or it's like the Sean Boost Jazine guy, whoever. He's not.
I mean, hey, bro, they waived Emmanuel Forbes, so I mean, the corner room isn't looking too crazy. They didn't waive them because they're just so talented there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that just goes to show. I like that McMillan play.
As for the stars, kind of going back to what Don was saying,
go back. Last pick that I like from there is McLaurin. I think they're just gonna have to feed him to try to get back. To be honest,
I mean, again, McLaurin, anytime touchdown or McLaurin receptions, like that's his guy. That's the guy. When it gets tough, he's going to lean on McLaurin. If they're winning, it's because probably Terry McLaurin. Any big shots down the field, if he's going to trust anyone, he's going to trust Terry McLaurin, which is also why it's a good thing that they're getting their safety back and also Jamel Dean. But I would slam Terry McLaurin's props too. There's just no chance. They don't have a single chance without him. You know what I mean? Like he is the wide receiver on their team. I guess if just because they got to give it to somebody, I would look over here to Zacchaeus. Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, Zacchaeus, you got it.
Zacchaeus. He's been doing his thing.
Yeah, he's been kind of emerging as that second option.
And somebody has to do it. So again, with the same theory that we were talking about with the Robert Woods and the Deontay Johnsons of the world, in order for Washington to win this football game, they're going to need an X factor to do something, to show up in a big way. And he's the wide receiver 2 on the team. So if there was somebody that would do it, he's in line to make those type of plays.
Oh my God, 90.5 for Bucky. Annoying.
For Bucky. But I mean, again, that's another thing too, because I know a lot of people are smacking that over in that game. And in theory, it looks like, yeah, this is going to be a high scoring game. But one of the things you need to consider is the fact that due to the fact that this is a playoff game, they're going to want to establish the run on both sides of the ball. On both teams. You know what I mean? Both of them are going to want to establish the run. Bucky Irvin, he's one of the better players on the team, so they're definitely going to run the ball with him. And then also, I think just to kind of not make this a high pace, up-tempo game, I think Washington is going to definitely come trying to see if they can establish some type of run game too. That way that they can stay balanced and it doesn't have to be all on, Jaden Daniels 5-10 minutes into the football game. You know what I mean? So that's just something
I think that joint gets shut down. Once again, with this game, I do like the under on Brian Robinson's yards. I think they're going to try to, but
yeah,
that's why.
And also, Austin Eckler's back. So it's like I definitely, if I had an older veteran back and he's healthy, like this would be the game probably where I'm trusting him. Like
I'm glad you brought that up. Assuming that they're going to put on the Bucks because he is returning. I like his receptions. There we go. 2.5. That's money to me. That's money to me.
Yeah.
2.5. A lot of those dump offs. A lot of if they get him going in the screen game, safety valve.
I mean, if, in a game like this, if I had Austin Eckler, you know what I mean, and he's healthy, which I'm assuming that he is, this is when we're like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? Let me see Austin Eckler from a year ago, 2 years ago when you led the league in touchdowns. Like let's see it here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's something to consider. And basically, outside of those, the last plays that I'm like really I like, you already kind of touched on it. Lamar Jackson over 50 yards. Derrick Henry getting in the end zone. Mark Andrews getting in the end zone.
Mark Andrews, shout out to Mark Andrews, man. I mean, he's like top 3 in receiving touchdowns for tight ends, and he started off slow. And hey, man, he's not washed. So I do like Mark Andrews with his props as well.
He's been hitting on this 8 out of 10 times, like you just said. And he's going up against a team that they don't really defend tight ends that well. And I think with Zay Flowers, just another pass catcher being out, I think that this is going to be one of those times where Mark Andrews and also possibly Isaiah Likely show up big for the Ravens and for Lamar for them to get past Pittsburgh. And then my last play, this one again, I'm gonna give it to y'all, but if you don't want to touch it, I definitely understand. I'm going to my guy Khalil Shakir.
That is your guy.
Yeah, I'm going to him here. And the main reason I'm going to him here is because
it's good value.
And their best wide receiver, their best cornerback is Patrick Surtain. Patrick Surtain could definitely shut down Khalil Shakir any day of the week if he wanted to, but he's not on that. Khalil Shakir isn't on that caliber to where Pat Surtain is going to be following him around. And more than not, Khalil Shakir, he does stuff out the backfield and in the slot. So I think to get things going and for Josh Allen on those third down security blanket, I think he's going to be looking to Khalil Shakir a lot here. I could see this being one of those 6 receptions for 75-yard type games. Possibly he gets into the end zone. But, due to the fact that, again, I think they're going to want to try to go fast, get off to a good start. I can see him catching a few, getting peppered with some targets here, helping move the ball down the field, and then Josh Allen just finishing it off, whether it be on the run game with James Cook, Ty Johnson, or Josh Allen himself running it in. I just think right here is a nice little spot because we know about Pat Surtain and we know about the defense, but even Jerry Jeudy, he got shut down when he was going against Pat Surtain. Still ended up with 9 receptions for like 200-something yards. So I just think that this is something that could be exploited here. A nice little value for Khalil Shakir due to the matchup.
Yeah, and I want to kind of reiterate what you said about Zay Flowers being out. Look to those tight ends, man. I think Mark Andrews and especially likely, would be great value. But Andrews at 3.5, I think you could just put that in your parlay, and you're like, all right, that's the foundation for the parlay. We know that one's going to hit because they're going to have
Yeah.
to. You know what I mean? We can't have Lamar getting bounced out in the wild card. That'd be crazy. And so that's the best connection. That's the longest connection in terms of him and his pass catchers. So I do like that one a lot. Also, I like Saquon and Josh Jacobs over on their rushing yards when it comes to that game. Jordan Love banged up per usual. He's been getting banged up like every 2 to 3 weeks. But we also haven't seen Jalen Hurts in about 2 to 3 weeks after he got concussed. And I think they're going to want to lean on Saquon in this one and try to get Jalen Hurts in rhythm. But, give me can you go to that game? It's yeah. Where we at with it? That's his receiving. 103 for Saquon. Yeah, I like that. It's crazy how close it is to Bucky's. Just what a rookie. What a rookie campaign for that boy. But yeah, I think both these teams are gonna
Goddamn fourth.
Hey man, it's a deep running back class, so y'all gonna get y'all one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna trip because at the end of the day, it's like, but we traded our fourth again
for Mingo.
Jonathan Mingo.
Y'all just doing whatever right now, huh?
Right.
And y'all draft so well, so I don't know why y'all just.
Jerry, I told you, Jerry took the phone and ran to the bathroom, bro.
It's like, what'd you do? With cake all over his face. What? Nothing. But yeah, Josh Jacob at 69.5. I love that. I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to want to establish the run. No Christian Watson. That's tough. I just don't like betting on any Packers receiver. You never know who it's going to be. It could be a Bo Melton game, and you won't be sick with Dobbs' last leg in your parlay. So I'm gonna just lean on these running backs. I think this is a low-scoring game for the most part, but so yeah, give me the running backs here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we didn't touch this game because this one I really don't know. I mean, this game gives me the same exact feeling as it did last year when the Cowboys were playing Green Bay. It was the same exact thing. And again, I wonder what they're doing in the building. Like, I wonder if Philadelphia and Kellen Moore are scheming stuff up for that Green Bay defense, or if they're just going to come out in their regular stuff. And he hasn't learned from his mistakes over the past. Whereas I see Matt LaFleur exploit. I mean, he exploited my entire team. He violated us on national TV. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wonder if Matt LaFleur comes in here with something up his sleeve, and he's able to make this a closer game than people even expect. One thing I do kind of believe in AJ Brown's yards, because if they get any kind of one-on-one, I think he can't be stopped one-on-one, and I think that Jalen Hurts that's the only ball he really wants to throw right now. I think it's the only ball he really has confidence in is AJ Brown one-on-one. But shit, I'd have confidence in that too if I was a quarterback. So, you know what I mean? That's just right now. That's my personal feelings. Again, I'm not going to touch that game because maybe I'll put a sprinkle on it in your underdog parlay. But I am interested to see this game because I want to see the style of coaching or what Kellen Moore has learned over these past few years, especially in a tough playoff spot, going against a pretty good Green Bay defense.
Honestly, I didn't want to put it on here because, like you said, I don't have a great feel for this game. So a lot of question marks, but I'm feeling more of a Goddard game. I think it's going to be a good Goddard game. I kind of like the under for AJ Brown. To be honest, I think it's the reason why this game goes under is that they can't really get him going too crazy. Like he's gonna be active in the game plan. He's gonna make some plays, but I just have a feeling he hits like 75, 78 yards. Just a gut feeling for me.
Yeah. And I mean, if that's the case, then it's probably a rough day for Philly. This probably was a rough day for Philly if that's the case.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in conclusion, my love locks. Let me just go ahead and get those back real quick. The game I like the most.
We should go back. Let's go back to back since lock is the same. So what's your like?
Okay, my like is Pittsburgh plus 9.5. Just kind of taking a number there. I think
Texas
Baltimore's gonna still pull it out.
Like
Texas plus 3.
Plus 3.
All right. I got Denver right here. I'm not Denver. I got Buffalo right here. Simple as hell. Minus 8.5.
I got Baltimore minus 9.5.
All right. And then we got Tampa Bay minus 3.
Likewise.
Smack City.
Easy.
All right.
How do you feel about what I said, taking that up to like a 9, 8.5, 9 for
just because it's the playoffs, like I wouldn't take it up to 8.5, 9, but maybe taking it up to 5, taking it up to 6, having them winning by a touchdown,
6.5.
Yeah. Like I might even like 6 isn't that bad. I mean, in my real one of my big money bets, I did Buffalo minus 5.5. I did Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers, Houston under, and I did Tampa Bay to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we didn't really touch this game at all. Speaking of LA, and any last, we're about to wrap this up. Anything on the Rams Vikings?
Earlier in the week, before I even knew about all the tragedy that's going on in LA, I took Minnesota minus 1. I mean, that's just good value for this type of team coming back from a bounce back spot. I just don't think they're playing with their food. Smack City, Los Angeles. That's what I believed. So that's what I would have took.
Yeah, in a dog parlay, I'm probably going to take. I might just take the Rams, the Packers, and the Texans. I think that's a good dog parlay right there. Just sprinkle a little 5 on that. See what happens, and then you just got to wait until Monday night if you want to hedge it. Everything is going well. But it's unfortunate they don't have, they have to go to Arizona to go play that one. But, let's see what Sam Darnold got, man, because this is going to play a major factor in the Vikings, their decision-making at the quarterback position. Saw J.J. McCarthy on the sideline looking pretty sickly, to be honest. I mean, he did tear his shit, so I understand he can't really be in the gym like that. But, I don't know, man. A lot of it's going to be a lot of important decisions being made based off how this weekend plays out. But, look, don't count out the Rams is all I got to say. Sean McVay, he typically likes to save. I mean, looking at the trends, he likes to, if he knows what he's locked into seating-wise, he'll take that last week off, and schematically, he's like that. We know he's like that. And I'm interested to see the matchup between his offensive mind and Brian Flores, and if Sam Darnold could bounce back and prove everybody wrong.
Yep. So that's it, though. Love, lock.
Love, lock. Like and subscribe. We'll be back to recap this. And, man, happy playoffs. Happy playoffs. What, you going Texas? What you got for the game, man? Texas?
Ohio State.
Yeah. Actually, why did I say Texas? Yeah, I got Ohio State, too. Ohio State. Yeah, I'm about to hit DraftKings right now. But, yeah, we out, man. Y'all be easy.
Peace.